Welcome to the Seriously podcast. I'm your host, Annalise Gann. Now let's get into it. Welcome to the Seriously podcast, where we make light of serious conversations with really interesting people. Welcome to part 2 of my chat with Lauren Dunn. If you haven't listened to part 1, I suggest you go and do that. It touches on Lauren's MAFS experience, her infamous wedding day, and what it's like to find overnight fame. Thank you so much for having us in your ears from the Seriously podcast team, Annalise and producer T. We know all the good sides of fame. We know all the glamorous sides. You were overnight famous. I would like to think you were.
Yeah, it's wild.
What has that been like?
Look, I am extremely humbled by it. The fact that people come up to me in the street, everywhere from the old lady in the supermarket to the teenage girl screaming my name when she sees me walking down the street, it's unbelievably humbling. I've never ever thought that would be something that would happen to me in my lifetime, and you've got to it's incredible. The only downside, and everyone says this, is obviously the internet trolls. I, for the most part, do not look. So while we were filming, not while we were filming, but as it was airing, the stories that would come out every day were wild. And then obviously like MAFS post stuff on their Instagram and they get thousands of comments, and everything from the way I look to the sound of my voice to the way I fidget, this, that, the next thing is absolutely brutal. And so I just had a blanket rule of I won't look at that shit. I don't look. I know that my mum looked. As a protective mother, I know that she looked, and it really affected her. It really upset her. Especially in the first couple of weeks where I was probably public enemy number 1. Everyone was like, who is this alcoholic freak? We don't like her. And then as I knew that the tides would change, so I was told by executives at the network, you know, the first 2 weeks are rough and bumpy, but as time goes on, you're going to love how it plays out.
Yes.
The audience warms to you, it changes. So I think the trolling online is very difficult. I think the difficult part for me was seeing how it affected my mum particularly. Like my dad and my brother, they couldn't care less. My dad was a well-known sports person. He used to deal with getting attacked on the street if they lost a game. So like they're cool, they're fine. But I know it affected my mum, and that's what hurt me. And the other thing is people who become obsessive. So I've had a couple of men who have rocked up to places that I post about. So for example, like, let's just use an example. This isn't the specific one, but say where I get my nails done or something like that, have rocked up looking for me. And people that have posted me in like Instagram stuff, he's like commented and like always like aggressive, abusive stuff, like trying to find me or look for me. And like that is scary because now in this day and age, you're so accessible. You're so accessible to anyone. We're always posting about where we are, what we're doing, what salon we go to, where we get our hair done. It makes it easy for anyone to find you. And I think that's something that I've learned from being in the public eye and being so prominent on, like, I'm always on social media. I'm posting every day, multiple times a day. Someone close to me told me, like, always post after the fact. Never post where you are while you're there. And you never think it's going to happen, but
It does. It's happened to me.
does. Yes, has it?
Oh, heaps of times. Because I started socials like
You were TikTok
ages ago.
famous. Like, I remember you from TikTok before you went on your show.
Yeah. I've had a following for ages, but I learnt the hard way.
How?
Well, I had a stalker rock
Yeah.
up like on the East. Yeah, heaps of times.
So how do you deal with that? Like, what do you do? Like, I made a police report, but like,
Yeah,
the
I've
police
had
do
to-
fuck all, let's be honest.
They don't do much.
They don't do anything unless they physically harm you.
I'm just so careful now.
Yeah.
Like I don't tell anyone anything. I don't say what car I drive. I don't say where I live. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to be so careful.
Yeah.
But
That's
anyway.
so true. I've learned that from friends that have been like, for example, yourself, had a following for a long time. I've only had this following for a couple of months, right?
Yes.
It's very new to me.
Yeah, so the new things to you, like the following, the fame.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're recognised in the street. What are some of the positive sides of fame?
I would say the positive side, again, is being is recognized. Like you should, like it's amazing. The people that are going to troll you online are not the people that are going to come up to you in real life. Like the people that come up to me in real life are incredible, and it's such a like I said before, such a humbling experience. Like, and they like you not because I'm an actor and they like my character on TV. They like me for what they've seen of me.
That must be nice.
It's amazing. And the other thing with me, and that I've been very vocal about, is like I know that people get edited. We all get edited. Where on TV, we get filmed for hundreds of hours, if not thousands, and then it's edited down to a 1 hour episode 4 times a week or whatever it is. I got very lucky in the sense that everything you saw of me was exactly how I was. In fact, they cut out some of the worst parts. Like they really, what you saw is how I am. So people come up to me, especially young girls and mothers of young girls, saying, you know, my daughters look up to you, the way you'll speak your mind and you're strong and this, that, and the next thing. And I feel like to me that's been the most rewarding part. Obviously, there's the monetary part, there's the opportunity part, there's all that, which is obviously fantastic. But I feel like the best part for me is the messages that I get and the people that I meet saying, you know, oh, you've made me feel like it's okay to be loud and outspoken and to have a voice and to say what I think. And that is like seriously special. Yeah, very cute.
Since you've been famous, I want to know, you don't have to name any names. Has any...
Am I blushing already?
You know what I'm going to ask. Have any celebs hit you up?
I've had a few.
How big are we talking?
Some pretty good ones.
Like A-list?
Yeah, but like no one in Perth.
Oh my God. Well, you're like a celeb now too. So like you're on the same
I'm
level.
not a celeb now. Like some of these
definitely are.
Do you know what? It's like I think having a blue tick, it makes you visible to people.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so like
puts you on the news feed. It puts you on the explore page.
If you like someone's like there's one musician that I've been obsessed with for a very long time. I obviously follow him and I like his photos and he's been liking all my photos and like I put a couple of his songs in a couple of my reels. Like so thirsty.
Everyone's gonna run to your reels now. Is this like gonna start a romance? You heard it first on Seriously.
I don't know. But yeah, it's been very interesting because I have never really been single. Like I have always had long-term partners and just before I went on MAFS, it was a little bit scandalous. There was a few articles here and there about how I broken up with my previous long-term partner to go on the show, which was not the case. But you know, I really was only single for let's say 6 weeks before I went on MAFS, and so
you're like,
no,
I
legit.
don't fuck around.
And people, I don't fuck around. I don't waste no time.
I'm the same.
But people have asked me, was that wise and were you ready? I said, absolutely not. I wasn't ready. But you have to understand, I didn't apply for this show.
They came to you.
I was scouted, and I was scouted, dare I say, aggressively. I had all my reservations. You know, I didn't sign my contract to the day of my wedding. So we filmed before that. So we filmed the Hens Night, which was chaotic as fuck. Everyone saw that. Hens Night, we filmed our backstories. We filmed our pre-interviews with the experts. We had weeks of filming before we had the wedding. I wouldn't sign my contract because I, one, was trying to have a few terms and conditions amended. Yes. Second of all, I was just really unsure that I really wanted to go ahead with that. And I knew if I hadn't signed, they can't use my footage. But I realised after they let me, because they're like, oh, you can't film until you sign. I was like, fine, don't let me film. But as they let me film, I realised that I had a little bit of pull with the whole situation. But I have to say, like, I had the best experience with Endemol Shine, who's a production company. I loved absolutely everyone that I worked with. Obviously, we butt heads here and there because you know what it's like. We're filming 12, 16, whatever hours a day, and these people have to deal with all of us. And I also absolutely loved everyone that I've dealt with at Channel 9. So I feel like, you know, people, they were really good to me. I was lucky. But there were times that I was not easy, but, you know, it's a hard situation because it's 3 months of your life and there's nothing else going on. It's not like you go to work every day and then you're filming at night. It is your entire life. You're consumed the entire time.
Yeah.
What was the question?
You nailed it.
Thanks.
Guys, the thing is, Lauren's actually so funny in real life. And I remember when we met a few years ago, I was like pissing myself. Like when we
had a good night. I remember that night at Zach's event.
I have to tell this story though.
Okay,
I don't know. I don't know if you remember. It was me, Beck Zemick, yourself, and Zach Hazelby.
Yeah.
And we went out after that event.
We went to Beaufort.
Yeah, but then you had these like designer slides on
Or
with the fluff. Or like you had they were like either Gucci or Dior slides.
No, I was wearing the Louis Vuitton slides.
Louis Vuitton, sorry, got it wrong.
Soz.
And they're like,
They're
can't
my
get
only
in.
designer slides. That's right, they wouldn't let me in.
They're like, Lauren's like, can I get in? And they're like, you can't get in with the slides. And she's like, but they're Louis Vuitton.
I
That's
remember
what you
this.
said. And I was like, yeah, that's a good point. Like,
I remember.
they're more expensive than my whole outfit. Like, let her in.
The only good pair of shoes I've literally ever bought. And I was like, are you joking? Like, let me the fuck in.
They were so nice.
They actually broke.
Oh.
Like, no, I'm not joking. The sole kind of came apart from the toe like this. And I was like, it's the last time I buy those.
Do you want some more wine?
Yes, please.
You're looking a bit
I thought you'd never ask.
Oh.
There she is.
There she goes.
I love this for us.
Okay, cool.
Can we just come here every week and just talk shit?
I would fucking love that.
We should. Seriously.
Okay, so love the pun. Okay, getting back to it.
Yes, back to it.
So, how has your dating life been since going on MAFS? Tell us everything.
Everyone kind of assumes that once you've been on MAFS, like, you know, you're visible to a lot of people, so people are like hitting up left, right, and centre. I do get a lot of people citing the DMs. I have to say, most of it goes to my requests, and I don't really look at my requests. However, there is someone that I really like, and I know, and I would ideally, if logistically it would work, want to hopefully one day be with. However, he has made it very clear to me that he is not interested in any of the bullshit that comes with this whole MAFS stuff. He's not interested in being in the limelight in any way, and he's not interested in like the media fodder. And unfortunately, I just have to respect his decision. And so he's kind of the opinion that like if it blew over one day, then maybe. But I also am of the opinion that I'm not really willing to like put my life on hold to like hopefully one day it blows over. And so it's hard, and I never really anticipated that side of things. I just kind of thought, oh, this is gonna be amazing. You know, I want something on TV, everyone's gonna love me. And then, well, it was at the beginning, I was like, oh, fuck, I'm probably never gonna get a date ever again. But I just have to respect that like a lot of people don't want a bar of this kind of stuff.
They don't.
They don't.
Especially
like, have you found that?
Yeah. They don't.
The good
like
men
it.
don't want it. The
Yeah,
thirsty
the
ones
healthy
want
ones.
it. The healthy ones.
And like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, and the
Yeah.
successful like private ones are like,
Yeah.
fuck no.
No way. And he's
Same, yeah.
successful. He's like a very amazing.
So he's not famous.
He's not famous, but he's an amazing businessman, and he's
Wow.
like really good at what he does. And he's just like but he said to me like straight out the gate, I am not interested in any of this, and it is what it is. So I'm in the position at the moment where it's like, okay, well, I'm just gonna have fun. I'm like dating, like hanging out with other people, talking to other people. But however, this person is the person that like I would ideally want to be with, but I just can't.
You might have to do like a Hannah Montana and like put a wig on.
We have done that.
Oh, I fucking knew it.
We went to the.
You're like, I've already done it.
We went to the
You're one
movies.
step ahead.
If he ever hears this, he's gonna hate me. But we went to the movies, and we went to gold class so that there wouldn't be like many people in there.
Smart.
And then we like went in one by one. He went and got like his snacks. I went in, and we just like went in separately, and then like met each other at the seats, and like there was barely anyone in there. So, and it's dark in there, no one's looking around. And then when the movie ended, like I left, he left. Like it's kind of exciting though, but it's like
I love that.
it's like who the fuck do you think you are? Like you're on MAFS, no one cares. But it is
No,
really
but they
gnarly.
do.
Like I
Yeah, they
remember
do.
recently I went to a footy game with my ex who used to play footy.
For Freo?
Yeah, for Freo. And you know, we still, it depends what day you ask me, but we tried to maintain a friendship. We've got the same friendship group, right? So we still see each other. We share a best friend. And we've been pretty good at like maintaining that friendship without it being too bad. But this one particular occasion, we went to a Freo game. And while I was standing out the front of the game with him, I think it was half time, I could see a girl behind me filming me and filming him. And I was just like, fuck, this is the side of it that isn't ideal because like most people just come up as they did during that game, and amazing people that I get to meet. Can I have a photo? You know, blah, blah. I'm like, absolutely, of course you can. Thank you for asking. Wow, like the fact that you want a photo with me is insane, like humbling, amazing. It's when you see that. So I've got a good story about this. So Sarah came over to Perth. She's such a gangster. It's my Colombian gangster. So she came to Perth, and I took her to the cot, and we're sitting at the cot.
Yeah.
And we've got a guy friend of ours. Like, she's not dating him, I'm not dating him, but Zach was there. Oh, was Zach there? I don't know. Anyway, it's a friend of Zach's that was there with us. I won't say his name. And he's sitting there with us, and he happens to be sitting next to Sarah. And then my other two friends are there who are gay. They're both my gay guy friends are all there, and it's all a crew. And these girls, they're taking a selfie, right? And Sarah could see their phone, but they're not taking a selfie with them. They're videoing, and they're zooming in on her talking to this guy, and like zooming in. And at the time, there was a lot of the show was airing, and there was a lot of fodder around Sarah cheating in quotation marks.
Oh my God.
So this girl's, and Sarah, so gangster, she just walked straight up to the girl, tapped her on the shoulder, excuse me, if you want a photo, come and ask me, but delete that video. And the girl was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Delete it. She goes, yeah, cool. Now go into your recently deleted and delete that one too. And I was like, you know what? That's so gangster and so cool because, yeah, we do decide to go on reality TV and we sign up, but, you know, you still have the right to be a human being and turn around and say, I don't want you to film me. And I could see what they were doing. It was because she was in a precarious position and they were trying to make it look like something that it wasn't. And she was just like, fuck that. I'm not putting up with that. So after seeing that, I was like, that's really cool.
I like that.
I like it too.
You still are entitled to privacy. Like your own entity. You don't.
Yeah.
You're not here to share bloody everything.
And that's the thing. Like, we all understand that when we sign up for these shows, specifically MAFS. MAFS is the number
like a
one.
juggernaut. It's massive.
Absolutely. And I was very, very, very aware of what I'm getting myself into. I often get asked, was it what you're expecting? Absolutely, it was. Like, do you think I would ever go into a situation like this not 100% prepared? I had spoken to every single person I could speak to. I spoke to my friends who are in production. I spoke to my friends who are in TV. I spoke to my friends who are in TV distribution. Every single aspect of it. Do you really think I would put myself in a situation where millions of people are watching me, not just in Australia, but in 140 countries around the world, and not be 100% prepared? And if you do, and you do that, and you are not prepared, the onus is on you. Too fucking bad. Like, you really have to realise by now. I understand in the earlier seasons, people that didn't quite understand.
Yes.
If you are going to sign up for the most watched show in Australia and one of the most watched in the UK, I mean, the UK, that's wild. Too fucking bad.
Yeah.
Like, the person I was paired with, he reckons he'd never seen it. So there would be nights, we would watch the old season together so he'd get an understanding. And I was like, this is what's coming up. It's intimacy week, it's this week, it's that week, like, this is what you're in for. And he had no idea. He also applied for the show. Everyone else was pretty much scouted.
Oh, cute. That kind of says a lot.
Because his business partner told him it would be good exposure for their up-and-coming business.
I just want to cry. That's so cute.
Yeah, but he did it because he wanted exposure for his business, which is totally fine.
Valid.
But
valid point.
Don't like come for me because like
you're not the one.
No, don't come for me unless I send for you.
Love that.
Kenya Moore. That's Kenya Moore of Housewives of Atlanta.
I love the Housewives.
So
Housewives of Atlanta are the best.
They're the best.
Okay, so in terms of your business, changing tunes, LCD consulting. Can you explain to those who don't know, what do you do for a job? And are you still doing it?
Yeah, so this is one of the most Googled things about me is, what does Lauren do for a living? So before I went on the show, I have a business called LCD Consulting. It's a marketing and PR consultancy agency for the hospital industry. So essentially, I do mainly the PR now, but originally like the marketing side, social media marketing side for like restaurants, food brands, anything restaurant, food, alcohol. And so I had to essentially forfeit that to go on the show, which was another huge risk because I have contractors that work with me, like photographers, social media people, etc., etc. However, I'm the only employee of the business. Yes. So some of my key clients that I've been with for a couple of years, because in that industry it's quite fickle, you know, your turnover rate, you're looking at like 6 months to a year. I had a couple of clients that were like maybe 2 years, and I said to them, this is what I'm doing. I won't be able to have too much time. Because essentially as well with the show, I said, like, I've got my business, like, I can't do this. And they're like, you'll be able to work here, there, and whatever. And I was like, all right, fine. But eventually, like, that was not sustainable. So everyone kind of ended up dropping off down to zero after the first month. So that was really difficult. That was a really hard thing for me to let go, because I'd built my business up to a point where I was doing the best that it had ever done. I was, it was very successful. I was loving it. Like, I was making really good money. I was super happy. And then this opportunity like kind of came across my desk, and I was like, shit, I'm really about to forfeit something huge here. This is a huge risk. And the risk is, people often ask me, I calculated it, and I'm like, oh, like, I could find the love of my life, which is what I really want. Historically, this show does not do that. It's mainly matching people for drama. And essentially, I kind of figured out the way they kind of really came for me to be on the show. It's not because they have got some amazing guy for me. They want my personality, and they want it for a reason. And I kind of knew that they wouldn't match me with someone that would be lifelong. On paper, he was perfect. He was everything I sort of asked for, but that spark wasn't there. So with the business side, it was a huge risk, and I was honestly felt sick about it, but it's something that I'm glad I did. At the moment, I have to be honest, I've only got a couple of clients, because the money that is to be made from brand deals and the things I'm doing right now is exponentially bigger than the hard slog that is PR.
Of course, yeah.
So I look at the hours that I would put in for a client for, X amount of dollars per month. I can make what I was making a month in one Instagram post. And I have to say, this is a fickle industry. This MAFS wave will not last. Some intelligent people make it last. You look at your Abby Chatfields, you look at your Britt Hockleys, your Marthas, your Jules Robinsons, love Jules Robinson, who are very intelligent businesswomen, media personalities. They know how to monetize themselves as a brand, have killed it. However, you can't rely on that. You cannot rest on your laurels. You cannot rest on the fact that you were on a number one TV show. Most people fade into the abyss. So I'm riding this wave while I can. However, I have skills and a business I can eventually fall back on if need be. So I'm kind of the opinion that I'm just going to live in the moment and enjoy it. And fuck it. If I can make a little bit of money right now and enjoy myself and have fun, why not? I could be dead tomorrow. Touch wood.
I love that. So, Lauren, I need to ask, because everyone wants to know.
Yes.
Is there anything that you can share as to what is next for Lauren Dunn? Because I see you doing incredible things. You're a smart businesswoman.
Thank you.
You're incredible. You were successful before. You're even you're on another level now. What is next for you?
It's a really good question. I get this a lot. And I think at this current moment, I don't have anything definitive that I can share. However, I think that what is in the pipeline for me is definitely something further in television. I think that what the outcome has been from the show is, thank you.
Congrats.
Has been, I think that the feedback is I have a personality that is conducive to television. I really enjoy working in that field. Sarah and I have signed a couple of really I'm trying to think of the word how to describe it without sounding like a fucking wanker. Like, some really cool brand deals that kind of take us to another level, like global ones. And so I'm excited for that to be announced by them.
Ooh, congratulations. That's massive.
Yeah, which has been really cool. I mean, just one of them alone has kind of been worth all the fucking bullshit that I went through with old mate.
Yes.
But I think at the moment, I'm just really enjoying working with different brands that have been reaching out to me. You may see me doing a couple of foodie things.
Yes. Oh my God. That's what we all want to see.
That's what's happening. Yeah.
You're so you're like the Aussie Nigella.
Thank you.
That's
Stop.
that's what I see you
something
as.
Today. It was like, so obviously I don't know what it is about me, but everyone likes to send me alcohol. So I've done like a few cool things with like a couple of different alcohol brands, and I feel like, is there such thing as like an alcohol influencer?
Yes, for sure.
That's me, baby.
The best kind.
The best kind.
I wish that was me. You're so lucky.
I mean, we could do that together. I mean, look Look at us now.
I'm keen. That's so exciting. Congrats. I bet you're like super excited about like what's next and like
Yeah.
obviously like financially you must be fucking killing it.
It's
I know as an influencer how much you can make.
Yeah, it's good. And the other thing is I have a fucking amazing manager. So when I first finished up on the show, I had every management company in Australia reaching out to me, like all the big ones. And I was like, I had this one lady whose name's Sharon Finnegan, and she's got clients like Carl Stefanovic and Ksenia Lukic, like some big names in television. And she was like, look, I don't take on MAFS people. I don't do the influencer space. Like, she's old school television.
Love.
And so we had a meeting because she said, look, I'm going to be honest, I don't know who the fuck you are. But I mentioned your name to a couple of my friends and they were like, go and meet her. And we had this meeting and within 5 minutes, you know, we just gelled like this. And she was like, you know what, I would be willing to take you on and see how we go. And so having someone like her behind me is just like such a huge kind of like positive reinforcement that she sees potential, and you know, we'll just see what happens. Everyone's like, why don't you go on Love Island? I'm like, cool, I'm about 15 years too old to go on Love Island. I'm like a geriatric Love Island.
You're absolutely not.
I absolutely am.
No, but I actually love how you went with Sharon.
I love Sharon
because you're so smart. And when I saw you, and everyone's going to agree with me on MAFS, I was like they brought out your smart side, your witty side. You're stunning and you're very beautiful.
They did me good.
But I also think like you have this level where people connect on that level. Like you're very personable and relatable, even if you don't know that. Like, do you know what I mean? So I feel like you're going to do so well.
Thank you.
You've already done amazing.
I feel like my superpower is I can talk to anyone about anything. Doesn't matter what walk of life they are, what job, what race, nationality, age, sex, gender, whatever it is.
You're so down to earth.
It's just, I think I am a people person and I definitely get that from my mum. And I just really enjoy other human beings.
Yeah.
Sometimes I fucking hate them, but most of the time I love them.
I remember when I first met you and I'm like, she's so pretty, but she's so nice. And
we
like
clicked instantly.
I know. I remember we were like
chatting afterwards.
I
we
know.
were messaging each other.
And I was like, we need to catch up. And then I was meant to meet you guys the next day and I was so hungover.
That's right. Yeah.
I was so, no, that was not a good
She can't give up with the big boys.
Fucking can't. I blame Zach and Beck for that. They always leave me down a bad path.
I had the best night with Beck on Thursday night. I took her out. We went out for dinner. And then
I saw that.
We went to Voodoo.
What time did you guys get home?
We got home at like 3. We went to Voodoo.
Beck,
on a
Zemic,
Thursday
you have a lot to explain for.
She's a wild bitch. I
love her.
Can I just say something about Beck? So I met Beck obviously when I met you before I went on the show.
Yes.
However, I reached out to her while we were filming.
Yes.
Yeah, and she was so good. Like, this woman is a mother, fiance. She's a property developer. She's got a 9 to 5, and she's a full-time influencer.
She's a boss.
She's epic.
Yes.
She gave me so much guidance throughout the whole process. And Bronte. Bronte was amazing.
Love Bronte.
Yeah. So much guidance and so many useful tips that I actually used that helped me in terms of dealing with the media, in terms of dealing with production, producers, just everything. And she didn't miss a beat. And I was like, for such a busy woman, it was just really impressive. And like, I just love her. I just think she's incredible.
She's such a loyal friend. Like when she has
really
your back,
is.
she fucking has your back.
And
like,
she's been
I'm
really
so
good to
grateful
Sarah as well. So I introduced her to Sarah when Sarah came to Perth. And
she's like the home girl. Like she
really
rides or
is.
dies with you.
She's funny as well.
Shout out to Beck Zemic.
We love you, Beck.
So, Lauren, I want to know, where can people find you on socials unless they're sleeping under a rock?
Okay, so this is funny because it's at Lauren_fun, FUNN_. I get all these PR packages and people send them to Lauren Fun because they think that's my last name. Like,
Can we change that?
Can we change it? It's like my stage name. And
Your real name's Lauren Dunn, right?
Lauren Dunn. And then TikTok is Lauren.Dunn. I am such a boomer on TikTok.
You would not. You're so
I am.
iconic.
I need you to help me. Can we do some TikToks together?
Let's fucking do it.
Yes.
Done.
Seriously.
Yeah, let's do it. I would love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like such a nerd. Sarah's really good at it. So I got TikTok because Sarah helped me get it. And then she taught me, I didn't even know how to do a voiceover. Like, she taught me the whole thing. Like, she's so good at it.
It's such a skill.
It's such a skill.
Yeah.
You got to be
It's underrated. People
Yeah.
like TikTok. I'm like, do you know how fucking hard it is to make
It's so
one?
hard.
Yeah.
The other thing is like, when are they going to make a creator fund for Aussie TikTokers?
I know.
Because you've been in the TikTok game for a while.
I know. I'd be loaded. No, I'm kidding.
No, you would be.
I wouldn't.
Do you get paid for your, like, you do like collaborative posts on TikTok? Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, they should introduce it. When are they going to do that?
I don't know. I just feel like they won't here. It was such a like, what's it called? Like,
Liberal society.
yeah, no, but like it's, what's the word? Like, not communist, but like dictatorship.
So we're going to wrap up.
Okay.
Lauren Dunn.
Sad.
I know. Thank you so much for coming on
Thanks for having
seriously.
me. I had so much fun.
I had so much fun. We all love you. We're all big fans of you.
Thank you.
And congratulations and good luck for everything. Like you're already a star, but you're gonna like go to like peaks. I reckon you're gonna be the next massive thing, even though you already are. So congratulations.
Thank you so much. That is very kind. Thanks for having me. My first podcast.
Thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
We're grateful.
Yeah, no, I was so excited when you asked me. So I was like, yes, gotta do it.
Oh, love you.
Love you.
Okay. Thanks, guys, for tuning to Seriously this week, and we'll catch you next week for another interview. Bye.